Anyway, this is game number 14 of the Prav run. We're quite beat up at the moment, which is why it's an even worse time to have spun into Dwarves. This is what our team looks like. We have got our lovely Agility 5 Daedalquist. We've got our lovely Strength 4 Freezing Star. We've got not many elves, but we're still here. We're still trying to make this work. We have spun into Dwarves, which is definitely bad news. They've got an agility ball carrier, which is nice. They've got a lot of guard. Actually, no mighty blow, which is a sort of small saving grace for us, but still lots of guard will make this hard. Strong record. This is going to be a very, very hard game to win, I think. Especially with them getting 170,000 in inducements. Morning, Daedal. Yeah, so they're taking a wizard. It makes it harder to Daka. Might still have to Daka because can't hang in a brawl with these guys. Recent win rate 67.5%. Yeah, that's a good coach is a good coach and an unfavourable matchup, so it's going to be very tough. But we'll give it a go, as we always do. Morning, Andy. How are you? We've been talking recently. You and Raging. You and I have also been talking recently. Andy, very helpful with some advice as I was closing in on that partner landmark. Right. Defense first, I'm happy about. They've definitely got troll slayers, haven't they? So we need to think about sidelines. Did I win the toss? I'm like already not concentrating enough. Like, hang on, didn't I lose the toss? How come I'm on defense? Did they just let me go on defense? Generous of them if so. This might be a boring boat because I think there's the number of players I want to protect. This feels like a really bad game to be down a blitzer. Like, of all the teams to face, actually, like having a second sidestepper to hassle their cage with would have been really valuable. Raging says they're going to stream for themselves the first time today. It's amazing. Plop that there. Looks like they've got the fame. Going back to Lurk in a sec. So is he streaming now? Or is he saying he's going to stream later? We'll see. Ham's here. Ham, did you just come into chat and say hi to Andy and not me? Because that's rude. I didn't even get a tree with like all the E's attached. Unless I've missed it, in which case I'm rude. It's possible. Okay, free rerolls the dwarves. We don't like that. You said hi to me first. All right, I'll allow it. What kind of barbecue have you got, Cully? Have you got like an old school charcoal one? Because I used to have a gas one when I lived in London. I keep thinking about getting one again because I know everyone will bang on about how it tastes better with charcoal. I don't care. when I have a charcoal barbecue, I'll use it maybe once a year. When I had that gas barbecue, I used it like once a week. So it was a huge difference. I really love the gas barbecue and I would get one again. This is our opponent. That's their Twitch handle. If you want to go and follow them, they're going to stream for the first time today. Doesn't look like they're doing it quite yet, but they're going to later. So if you want to, they seem lovely. So whatever, Collie. Collie, if you go to America, you'll get told quite quickly that your barbecue isn't a real barbecue either. Real barbecue is slow smoking for like 8 hours and upwards. So yours isn't either. So neither of them are real barbecues. But my one I get used. Or used to when I had it. I'll tell them the grill is in the oven and the bride isn't a word. So the very first hit we took was a casualty, which is bad news in this already unfavoured matchup. But we'll see if it gets better. Agility up run is really nice as well, reduces the chance of things going wrong for them back here. But yeah, suffering an injury when there's not even any mighty bow on the pitch on the first hit is an inauspicious start. Cully having a go at Ham for dying too often in their crypt team. Okay, doubt I can get to that ball. It's in range, but the level of rowdiness would be very, very high. Could go 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus just to get on the ball. The problem is it wouldn't even be that hard to clear. I mean, I tell you what, I'm not thinking about that. Ah, no, it's 2 to the side. If I could get there without having to go 2 to the side, I'd think about it. If we hit this one, if we knocked it over, we could do 2 2s to get on the ball. Well, that's and the GFIs. I'm going to take that blitz. It's very hard to go around the edges here because of the troll slayers and only having the one side step. Or should we just take the shot on the AV8 and not push the issue yet? Yeah, I think it's smarter. Fair enough. We're in trouble this drive. We're in real trouble. I mean, we're in trouble this game in general because it's a very bad matchup. But the positioning didn't allow us to get any sort of forward progress. I'm just trying to recover into a stable position, but a stable position in my own half is very bad. Opponent did well, didn't give us any easy passage down the edges. I was a bit of a coward and did the boat when maybe I needed to go wider. But yeah, we're in trouble this drive. I'm feeling quite pessimistic about the chance of not losing this game already. And we're on turn 2. Just not a good start. It's the wizard as well that makes me feel most pessimistic. Like, because it's not just that we've got to try to make a stop somewhere. We then have to play into a wizard on, I mean, we're already on 10. We'll see how many we're on by the end of the drive. Morning, Firian. Morning, Mama. Mama, I only saw yesterday the post you done in the food channel on my Discord of your cooking. I think it's your cooking, or at least you said it was a dish from the restaurant you're working at. Looks amazing. Congratulations. Like genuinely beautiful stuff. Okay, opponent is not picking a side, which seems smart, almost like they've had some coaching. I obviously don't want to pick a side. I would like to have more than 9 players available to me, but that's all I have. No, 8 players, because this is stuck. I really want to get around the back and create some pressure, but I only have the 1 blitzer. This is horrible. This is a horrible situation. I think we do need to try and come around here a bit. Create an angle for the edge 5 to maybe consider doing something. It's just so hard to do it without just massively exposing the whole team. Especially with them having the surfing options with their troll slayers. Thank you for the raid, somebody. And we're not getting any knockdowns either. I think we had to try that just because we're really, need the numbers out, but don't even love doing it because, of course, there is the risk there of just injuring yourself. Simply a Sensei, how are you? I saw you were streaming some Cult of the Lamb this morning, which seems to be what a lot of people are streaming at the moment. I have not watched enough of it to understand what it's about, but I read the description on Steam, and it's like you are like a possessed lamb that starts a cult. Sounds pretty fun. So to explain a bit what my thinking was on this, which I don't think is going to work, so it's like not great thinking, but like I really needed to get something around the back of the cage that could harass the back of the cage a bit. Otherwise, in my opinion, there was no way we were going to win this drive just by elf screening. We were already so far back. If we just elf screened down the pitch, especially with them getting some nice armor breaks, it just wasn't going to work. So if we were going to have any chance of stopping this, we needed to create some pressure on both sides of the cage. The problem is that if you just send this piece on its own, like start sending it around the back of the cage on its own, it just gets killed or at least gets hit. Like, it's such a soft target because it's strength 3 and they've got tackle everywhere. Soft target's maybe the wrong word because it's armor 8, but you know, it's such an easy target. So I'm sort of screening it so I can get it into a better position for next turn, and then I'm going to have to bring all these linemen back around again. But positionally, it cost me a lot. Like it cost me a couple of turns of moving players around and putting pieces like that I don't want to into vulnerable positions. So it was not an easy decision to make, but it was one that I felt like I had to make at some point. Because now, for this turn, I'd probably just park this one up here, which, sure, they could still go and hit this, but it's going to be a commitment of players backwards. And if I was in their shoes, that's not necessarily a choice I'd want to make. So that is the thinking behind what I did just then. Not saying it's perfect logic, but that is, if anyone's wondering why I did things the way I did them, that's why. So I do now need to get these ones back relevant. We're going to take this hit? No, because the guard. So I'll just sit you 2 squares off, I think. Going to take this block. Get our first knockdown of the game. That's nice. Then I'm going to stand this guard up and hit with the wrestle here. Another knockdown is nice. And see, now I've actually pushed their tackle back a little bit, which is a bit inconvenient for them. It's not, you know, massively inconvenient, but it's something. I'm going to try one of these 3-2s again. Not doing good on those 3+ dodges. It's a fun city builder type of game of dungeon crawling. Oh, I didn't imagine it was a city builder at all. That's interesting. I thought it was like a sort of scrolling adventure, not a city builder. That's cool. Well worth that $25 in your opinion. Interesting. Second blitzer is just MNG'd Murmur. We have had at least one, maybe 2 dead blitzers on this team, but they're currently just MNG. This falling over here did at least mean that they couldn't really hit the strength 4 this turn. They can hit the guard, which is what I imagine they will do. But it did at least block the square for hitting the strength 4. This season has felt like another season of well, last season it was just the trees that kept dying, wasn't it? We had a few war lances at the beginning of the season that died, and then a lot of trees died. This season, it's just felt like all of our teams have died. Because we did some high elves at the beginning of the season, and the win record was pretty good on my high elf teams, but they just kept being dead, which is sort of inconvenient. This... This looks like a dice on the ball. Because you can't hit this now. You can put an extra guard in there. Oh, yeah, I can blitz that. What am I talking about? Okay, fine. Oh, 2 more of those? No. Oh, well. Fortunately, they had 4 rerolls, so it doesn't really matter. Even to have got a reroll out of them. And that will block the square though, so it's all right, unfortunately for us. So we have some plays here. There's a 3+ dodge in, or you could do it as a 3/3 to save the GFI, and that one's got the thing, but it'll be red dice. If we could knock that over, potentially we could have a not red dice. That is an if. Yeah, we didn't get it. And now our option is to come around the longer way. So it's a 2 for... Made it harder for ourselves. Maybe I should have taken that a bit slower and thought about it. I think we're probably not hitting the ball now. If we'd got the knockdown there, I would have gone for the ball, 100%. I actually think that was quite a nice little opportunity on the ball, to be honest, but didn't work out. I think we have to bring this, unfortunately. I don't really want to put that one there, but I think I do, in case everything else goes wrong. Really like this to go down. Not really what I wanted, but better than a push, I think, actually. Okay, finally got one of those loners back out, which is a relief. I think we've got to keep trying these 3-2s. I don't like doing these 3-2 dodges because, you know, it's a 3+, it can fail, and they all have so far. And when they fail, it's more rolls on armor 7, but I just really need these players back in my screen. Do I even do the second dodge there? Yeah, because otherwise you just get that up and you've got the guard assist right away. Ugh. My dodges have been terrible. Like, genuinely really bad so far. Anyway. I think that was, on those dice, definitely not the right turn to try and do the crazy cage dive. You meant a base builder, not a city builder. The base building is much like Don't Starve. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Don't Starve. I thought Don't Starve could be a fun one to do as a group game on stream sometime. I haven't played it very much. I played like twice. I really enjoyed it. I played Don't Starve with like a more experienced group, and I did feel a bit like I was just being sort of handheld and told what to do. I'd really like to do it like a bit sort of more like working it out as I go. So if there are other less experienced players, could be really fun. Fallen Glory up for that? Maybe we should talk about that on the Discord. No one should tell you what to do in any game. I mean, sometimes it's nice to sort of have like advice and stuff, but it just feels like it's such a sort of interesting game for like mucking around in. Like it really seems like it's that sort of game. Like you muck around, you try things, you see if things like combine and how they work. And it's like, it's nice to have those experiences as well, isn't it? Okay, so this is turn 5. We have stalled them a little bit, but with an edge 4 runner, I'm worried that stalling them really isn't enough. Because they are, you know, they're well into this half. And they did a very good job of stabilising the drive right away. Unfortunately for us. This might be my best shot on the ball. We've got 4+ on it. Chain pushes. Fill that square, hit from here, but it's not really achieving anything. I guess there's a world in which we could hit that into there. Hit from here, hit there, hit there. It's all 1 dice though, at best. We need to stand up that, push here, hit here for 1 dice. That would push us there. Might be worth it, you know. Feels a bit like scary, but because this needs to be a push. Which it isn't. Okay, so that's now not happening. We need to push there and then a push here. Problem is now we've left this in base contact, which we don't like. Do we just go in for it? We can't make this better than red dice anyway, because the guard positioning. So it's just a 4+ red dice. Is there anything else we move first? Maybe that there. Three plus red dice is better than the 4+ red dice. I think we're going to take it. Was obviously hoping we get a knockdown, but I think we're going to take that, and we're going to give ourselves a free hit on one of these. This is where I really wish we had another sidestepper. Problem is here we can get served as well. Maybe I should have pushed to the square. I think we just have to embrace this to some extent. We're here now. Good. Still got 3 rerolls. Very nice. I think that's just standing up because now we are trying to make this next turn complicated for them. Like, we know we're going to take some hits we don't want to take, including on this strength 4, which sucks. But hopefully stabilising the position for them next turn is complicated with the sidestepper in the middle of everything. Problem is, it's just tackle everywhere, so they could just get it down first head. Like, effectively at the moment, this is splitting their team a bit, is what this is doing. That's very nice. And I don't think you can reroll it and you haven't even hit this yet. Thinking about it. They do reroll it. Wow, and don't get it. All right, so now they've got no reroll to hit the sidestepper with. They will get another hit on this, though. Which they do get it third time around. No armor break is nice. Double skull would be nice. Still going for that guard. Getting it down. Where's the ball going? Okay, just a KO. I have still got... Oh, no, they've used their blitz, so I'm not getting surf, which is nice. Ball just going backwards. Might be good enough. That's pretty nice. That's less nice. Oh man, that stinks. Wow, that more than stinks. Without the arm break there, we have a really nice hit on the ball. Is it dead? It's dead. Oh dear. Oh, that's so unreasonable. That's so unreasonable. Oh well. Absolutely lucked out our opponent there. I hate that. I really hate that. Like, I think they made a not great decision on the reroll, and then like not just rewarded, but like craziness on the last situation. We've got a loner hit, which we'll probably end up trying to take. Oh, you gotta suck it up, Tree, but that really stinks. That really, really stinks. Full rewards for a very iffy decision. Because if that doesn't break armor, we have 1 dice on the ball for like 2 2+s. And instead, it doesn't just break armor, it literally kills our best player. I think we've got to get this up first. Because we're almost certainly not going to make the stack here. We're going to try, but the chances are not good. So, got to do everything else first. as well. Oh well. Frustrating. Very frustrating. That was the one interesting piece on this team. Well, we've got this, but the Edge 5 bits have really made this team a team that felt like it could go somewhere, which it's going to feel a lot less like after that. As soon as I saw Dead, I was like, this Apo isn't going to work, is it? It's already decided. All the sixes together. Oh well, it's happened. It has happened. Why couldn't you roll that double skull one block earlier? Still too close to the problem. They're still going to be in scoring range. I mean, they do need to move it, but it's there. Okay, this will give us some sort of hit on the ball. Interesting choice. They had the knockdown. Obviously wanted to get that in better position, although I think, not sure if that is better position. Well, I guess it means we can bring the guard in here. So we're going to have to use a loner for this hit. Is there a chain? I need to push it to one square further back. If we bring this in here, they're not there. We're going to block our own path in. I think we just got to take a one dice Alona. Okay, that works. Still kind of blocked your own path, but you can come in there on a dodge. That's a 6+. I didn't think that through properly. Did not think that through properly. It's got to be this, hasn't it, I think? It's going to be a red dice regardless. We can't cancel that because it's got guard. All right, let's see if we can do it. I think the right thing is to do the 3+ dodge and save the GFI since we didn't pop dodge right away. Got it. Okay, be a nice time to have some Edge 5, wouldn't it? Do we even go for this? I feel like we have to. It's not an easy score, but it's a doable score. It's definitely possible. Because the agility player can't get there. Your scoring pieces are, I guess the Longbeards could score, but your best one's your Blitzer, but I imagine it might end up being this Troll Slayer. Maybe I should have got that up first and done the dodge. It was off tackle, so I wasn't sure. Hey, Beer Monkey, how are you? We're being banged out by dwarves, which is sad. How was your stream this morning, Beer Monkey? Okay, at least not a knockdown. Oh, going for the scatter. Scatter here. Oh, what? Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. They need to go through this square if they're holding on that. No, they'll hand off with it, won't they? You hit this out of the way and then you hand off to someone. Probably to this guy. Oh, well, you've chosen the wrong person to pin those hopes on. We've already had a dead Apo dead on our Edge 5 Blitzer on a play that we didn't think our opponent should have done. So, yeah, this is the wrong place to come for the good luck and the good vibes. Oh, wow, that's not what I would have guessed. That stops you from scoring. Okay, that clears the way again. Now it's 2 GFIs without the reroll. I thought they were going to hand off to that player. Oh, please don't make this. I really feel like we deserve a break. We've had some pretty rotten dice here. And what's annoying is this is the 4th reroll that they got for free as well. Like, they wouldn't even have had that if it wasn't for the kickoff result. And I said at the time, oh, 4 rerolls, you probably didn't need them, the Dwarves. But they have got them. I empathise, Beer Monkey. This has been a pretty rough season for us. This is the first team where I've thought like it might go somewhere, and now we've got a dead star player. So I empathise, I really do. It's not our fireball, it's theirs. I wish it was my fireball. Ugh. I think that was extremely, extremely unlucky for us. I think we did the right things to get a stop, and our opponent got away with a big one. I still think what's so frustrating about that death is they used their reroll on something they didn't need to use it on at the start of that turn. And then they got full rewarded with that just murder on the Blitzer, which was exactly why you shouldn't use the reroll, because if you don't knock that Blitzer down, or even if you do knock it down, not breaking armor where they put the ball, they gave us a free hit on the ball. But yeah, the dice hate us at this season, so it went the way it did. I think we just lose, unfortunately, because of the wizard. If it wasn't for the wizard, maybe we could fight for a draw, but I don't really know even how to play it for a draw. I think I have to try and Daka because I think 1-1 is my best outcome. And I think if I score quickly now and I don't even have a sidestepper left to defend with, like I don't even have my other blitzer, I can't see how I can defend for more than a couple of turns. We're going to be down even more players. Yeah, so I think we have to Daka, but a Daka with 3 positionals into a wizard is almost certainly doomed. That's so annoying as well. It was a scatter catch onto a Longbeard who was based. Like, all the breaks they got along the way on that drive. Super frustrating. Anyway, got to shake it off. It's only Blood Bowl, and you never know, maybe we'll dice our way back to a 110. I think we're just going to do the whole method. I think this is a pass first situation because of the Nerves of Steel. That makes it a lot less likely, but still possible. Because we need the reroll for the dodges is the problem. Well, we got into range. Don't think there's any option to do this without going through tackle. Which is why I wanted those dodges. Yeah, it's all off tackle, isn't it? Do that, not off tackle. Best we've got. No. Oh, I hate games like this. Really, really frustrating. I mean, it's Pro Elf life and you have to get used to it because that is just how Pro Elves work. But yeah, feels like a rough one. Does not feel like we should be losing. To be fair, on the catch, they had like 5 or 6 tries to catch it. I mean, they did, but that in itself was very lucky Blood Bowl Nut because it scattered repeatedly through their players when it could have scattered onto one elf and we would have had a 3+ with reroll if it had scattered our way. So they, that was also bad luck along with everything else. I've powered 16 things. I've 1 stun cage over it across the game. That sounds like when I played your ogre team, trying to take out an Obla. I'm getting to the point, and it's annoying because I've just started uploading this right onto YouTube, but I'm getting to the point where I'm wondering if this team is worth persisting whether it's better to make a fresh start. Because the record, if we lose this, will be 7-5-2. and we're going to be have so many loners, and this is what really stings. Like, this is what really stings. Losing the game, fine, whatever. Like, but losing this is just really like softened this team a lot. Because it was already a very banged up team, but you sort of persevere with a banged up team because you've got good positionals that can sort of save it. But without that, it's like, what are we persisting with? Feels like a bit of a shell. I don't know. Don't want to play Bash Ham. Bash is boring. That's not always true. I know I'm playing some Bash, but also it doesn't change. Like, Bash is not suddenly immune to frustrating times and disappointing dice or bad luck. Which is, I think, what's happened here, personally. Okay, we're going to Daka. This is a bit horrible putting these pieces on the line, but I want the movement to get properly away. Themselves, they are Bash, yeah, just need the anti-mindset. Okay, I'll get one of them back. I mean, this is not a good situation in which to Daka. Daka into a wizard is rarely going to work out. I just don't think we can win any other way. So, well, win. By win, I mean draw. A win for me here is a draw. A draw with no more injuries is what I would consider a win. Because, yeah, I think actually winning the game would require some extreme dice luck in our favour at this point. If we got the one turn, you know, maybe you can talk about it. But we didn't. Fine. Thanks very much, game. Really appreciate that. Dodges have been terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. They foul this? I might foul this, to be honest. They've got a bench. Spent a long bit on it. Although on the flip side, if they did a foul and got sent off for a stun, I'd be pretty happy about it. So there's two sides to that, I guess. Maybe I should have just put a loner here. I just really wanted to get everyone all the way back, but actually movement 6 is still going to do enough, isn't it? I think that's a mistake, putting that on the line. So many ones. So very many ones. I feel like I've repeated this many times, WTK, in this season. Wood elves are just the best elves because like as in they're the strongest, they win the most. Dark elves are the frenzy elves, which is fun. And pro elves are the most fun because they can do shenanigans with nerves of steel and catch, like just leads to some really fun plays. That's why they're the most fun. And high elves are the least fun because there's nothing exciting about them. They're just like pro elves, but with more armor. Like, it's not fun. Like, you've taken away some of the skills that make pro elves fun, given them some armor. It's not fun, it's boring. So high elves are the least fun, which is actually why this team's called most fun, is because I had high elves earlier in the season. I called them the least fun elves. This is interesting. Oh, I did not mean to do that first. I was clicking on it just to demonstrate it, but the fact that they left it is interesting to me because now we can do this, which of course is another one. My God, we're rolling a lot of ones. We've rolled 3 ones on 3 dice this half. That's literally, we've rolled 3 dice this half. They've all been a 1. But now we have to pick that ball up, which is rubbish because we haven't got a dice. A reroll left to do it with. That's pretty crazy, right? Like 3 dice this half, they've literally all been 1. That's all we've rolled. We rolled a dodge, it was a 1. We rolled a pass, it was a 1. We rolled another dodge, it was a 1. We've got to do that, really. There's absolutely no way this ball's going to be safe with the wizard in play. Okay. I think it's got to go to the back. And if they lightning bolt it and it goes out, they lightning bolt it and it goes out. The thing is, they could even just lightning bolt the screen. No, I think we've got to step it forward. Because then they could lightning bolt the screen and just surf it. Boy, this is bad. I actually don't even know what to do here. I think that's got to go there. And if they fireball us, they fireball us. Yeah, it's a disaster. Not having that reroll changed the options. I didn't mean to do that dodge first, which is frustrating. But yeah, I actually might have tried to do something aggressive and launch the ball this turn to get away. But okay, fireball it is. Okay. Could be worse, honestly. Could be worse. Didn't get the guard down, so they haven't got a great angle on this. Stun there's annoying because it's going to make the next turn harder, but that could have been worse. But it's still just a 1 dice, which might just give them the ball. We'll see. Thanks for the resub, Spleggy. Sorry, I feel like I've missed a couple of things to the stream, but thank you. It's really kind. 7 months as one of the weirdos, Spleggy. Thank you so much for spending your Prime sub here. Shocker. Andy Davo thinks the most fun teams are the frenzy teams. The twist no one expected. Stun here is a real pain. That's the worst bit of that fireball, actually. Like, if that wasn't stunned, I think we'd be in an okay position for this turn. Another skull? No. Where's this ball going to go? Because that edge 4 is lurking. Oh, sod off. Like, if it scatters this way, that's ungettable. Instead, it scatters to just perfect walk-in and score position. That's really annoying. That's so annoying. Like, that's literally like the perfect hop square. Oh, well, GG, I guess, unless they fail the GFI. They've got sure hands for the pickup. I think you take it, because I can hit that on 2 dice pretty easily. I think you have to take it. So their 2 touchdowns have come on 3 GFIs that reroll. And that's the thin end of the wedge in terms of things that have gone wrong for us dice-wise. The very thin end of the wedge. Oh well. GG. It was always a risk doing the Dagger into a wizard, but that was pretty unlucky as well. Gonna try for a quick score, I guess. It's such a long way back for this team now. It's really sad. Like 7-5-2 is not a great record, and then losing that blitz is just really, really sets us back in team development a lot. Keep getting free rerolls as well, which they don't even need. Oh, well, all right, do that then, Tree. Just misclick. Oh well. There's no point re-rolling it. Boo. I would concede it, but I think I've already used 2 this season, so I don't want to do it for no reason. You know, there's so many things that could have gone better. Like that not dying being the chief one when they use their reroll a bit irresponsibly beforehand. But then, you know, scatter catch into a based Longbeard for them to get their first touchdown, which still had to do 2 GFIs after the reroll. Then our 1 turn, we had to use the reroll on a 3 dice block, which if it hadn't, well, actually it was the dodge skill that failed anyway. But yeah, sorry, I preferred a 75% dodge. Then, you know, that fireball, I guess the fireball could have gone worse to be fair, but then that scatter off that wrestle hit. When, like, if they'd roll anything that wasn't a wrestle, that couldn't happen, right? Like, if they roll a POW, then it can't scatter that way. Like, it can't go into that square where they get the free, easy walk-in. Like, it really has been a lot of things this game. But that's just me tilting and misclicking. I've done Skaven runs before. I don't enjoy them as much. I get why people do enjoy them. I think the problem is that the best Skaven teams in the end all have a natural 1-turner on them, and I find that really boring. Like, even when it's your natural 1-turner, it's like, it's, you know, winning is nice, but it's not fun. It's like, it's not interesting. It's like, okay, can I do my natural 1-turn? Yes or no? I don't know. I didn't find it very rewarding, even when I had it. That's so awful. Opponents played, like, most of these situations pretty well. Like I say, just that one reroll I really disliked, but worked out for them in a very big way. Other than that, I think they've played a pretty tight game. Turning on 13, so we literally have to score next turn or we can't draw the game. Rolled a prodigious number of ones. I think I'll enjoy Skaven more in the new rules when there's not an actual one-turner, honestly. I think I'll find them more interesting. Hey, Day Day. I'm doing all right in life. I'm having a terrible game of Blood Bowl and feeling frustrated with that, but I'm good otherwise. Oh, thanks for the sub, Blood Bowl, Nat. Welcome to the Weirdos. I think that's your first time. Like, the thing is, you always take a natural one-turner, right? Like, I had one on my last season's Wood Elf team. Like, you always take it. I'm not, like, against taking them because you should. But they're not an interesting dynamic to play. Like, it's just, yeah, it's just not sort of, yeah, it's just not interesting. Thanks for Bonnet. It's always nice that people enjoy watching. I was wondering to myself, like, why people enjoy watching the other day. Like, I was asking myself, like, what is, like, my channel's thing? Because, like, I think about the channels that I watch and, like, I could tell you, like, reasons why I watch them a lot. So, like, since they're both in chat, well, I don't know if they still are, but Andy, as Rick was earlier, like, I think Andy's channel is really lovely to watch because Andy is, first of all, really, really good at Blood Bowl. But, like, there are lots of streamers who are really, really good at Blood Bowl. And I think Andy, like, is really good at talking through what he does, explaining things. I think he has a real, like, interest in sort of the like the mechanics of the game and, like, helping people to understand them better and to get better. I think, like, he really enjoys that, and that's really nice to watch. So, like, I really appreciate that on Andy's stream. And Rick, who, as I said, was like you. Rick, who I don't know if Rick's still here, but was here. Right, so we've got to just try for the nerves of steel nonsense here, I think. But Rick, also a really good player. I mean, Rick has won Chalice, obviously, and Rick, I really enjoy with Rick how positive he is. Like, I really like that Rick's channel is always, like, super positive vibes, and also I really appreciate with Rick that he, like, is willing to do things that aren't, like, what everyone else says you should do. Like, Rick goes against, like, the meta choices that everyone insists are just, like, the right choice in inverted commas, and does, like, experiment and try different things. And I think that's really a thing I enjoy with Rick's streams as well. So yeah, like, that's reasons why, I guess, why I enjoy those, like, two streamers a lot. I mean, there's lots of other streams I enjoy a lot as well, but, like, I can tell you why I enjoy the streamers I enjoy. And I'm like, I think, like, if people are just going to streams for, like, who's the best Blood Bowler, like, I'm all right. Like, I'm definitely not doing myself down. Like, I know I can play a bit, but I don't think that's, like, the number one reason people come here. And so yeah, I'm always, like, a bit curious. Like, why do people like my channel? That's why Pro Elves are the most fun elves, by the way. That whole play that I just did there, that's why they're the most fun elves, because you can just nerves of steel it from one end of the pitch to the other. Sorry if that last bit was a bit rambly, by the way. I was sort of trying to explain my thought while also trying to concentrate on the turn. Okay, so we've got 2 turns. It's technically still possible we could draw the game. We need a blitz probably, or at least some big luck. I'm going to set up very aggressively because I think I need to if we're going to have any chance at all of pulling this off. Because we need to get onto this before it even starts, really. No, I think I still do the offset. Probably just ends up being a quick snap and free hits for them. Some love you for the ASMR. I do think, like, so that was one thing I did think to myself. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Toso82. I think I missed you coming in just now. I do think one of the reasons that people like my channel is because I have a chilled out voice. I do genuinely like, I mean, you guys know better than I do, but that was one of the conclusions I told myself. It's like, I think people just like coming in, it's quite mellow. Like, that's like my hunch about why people like this channel. But I don't know. Morning, Sergeant. I see you've... Are we no longer doing Sir streaming? Have we decided to unify the name? Rick is a secret murderer. He definitely isn't. I mean, I say definitely, but... People come here for the toxicity, obviously. Thaddeus79, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Weirdos. How did you find us, Toso and Thaddeus, if you feel like chatting? Blitz. Give us a blitz. Give us a chance. It's not a blitz. Nice relaxing place to be after a long day. Good. That's nice. Quad skulls? Quad skulls give us a chance? Just anything going really badly wrong for them so we can have a chance. Came up on the suggested list. Oh, well, welcome. Rick might have Nick in his basement. I mean, we've all seen the video. It was uncomfortable viewing. We all worried about Nick's health. What's you and Giraffe? Because you guys are good at Blood Bowl. Don't know Giraffe's really like way too down on herself at the moment, and I really want to help her. And like, all of us have been trying to sort of help her see that she's a lot better than she seems to think she is. But I also get it. Like sometimes this game gets into your head and things don't work for a long time, and it can feel really disheartening. And I think that's just where Giraffe is at the moment. Frowning, I'm really positive when it comes to Bubble. Normally when I stream I get more self-conscious about playing, so the game starts to annoy me. It's tough sometimes on stream. Like, I think that's the thing that that like is sort of definitely like true. Like right, we need a scoring threat. But it's really easy to, I think almost like because you start streaming, you then feel like you owe it to your audience somehow to be good or something, or you're going to get judged if you're not good enough. And so you do sort of treat it differently, and that is a really easy trap to get into. Is that worth putting in there, or am I just being stupid? So there's always like just a straight, can we 6+ dodge in? I really don't know what to do here at all, to be honest. Stand you up. Maybe stand you up as well. Problem is, if I only have one scoring threat, I can just go and hit it. Would this be worth it? Just sort of like separates them a bit. Means we could potentially take a hit there. We do that. How to get your one guard piece killed. Disappointing. I don't know, it's kind of messy. Not sure it's really achieved anything. My thinking, slightly clumsily, was can I just sort of put some pressure on this side of the cage and then separate these players over here, which I've sort of done. I just don't know if it's really good enough. And then like try to make it so that it isn't just a super easy hit on that since it's our only scoring threat. But I don't think it's that hard to engineer the hit on that. And to be fair, if I was them, that would be my priority. Just get that, and if you get it, then it's GG. Okay. Rebuilding the cage. So we're not taking out the scoring threat, so it's not totally over. It's unlikely, but it's not totally over. I think this is in a bad spot in the end. It's been too isolated, it's too far around to make the blitz, which really that's the player you need to be blitzing with because it's strength 4. And now it's tagged on tackle as well, so now we're probably going to have to do a crazy dodge with you. So straight up 6+. Can we get around the top? Can make it a 1 dice if we get there. I think that's our best chance. I'm not saying it's a good chance. I'm just saying it's the best chance. And then, I don't know, we'll have to find a miracle recovery here and... Oh, we're in. Oh well, we gave it a go. I gave it a go. I think we were pretty rotten unlucky in this game, but it happens. It was a tough matchup and tough dice. opponent's been lovely. I think they've mostly played pretty tight. I still think they made a big mistake when they rerolled. Well, big mistake's overstating it. That is overstating it. That's taking it too far. I think they made a very greedy decision to reroll the hit on this, and I think that they were quite lucky that they got rewarded for it. And I think I was extremely unlucky that they got a dead into dead on the Apo for it, obviously, because that's just a really brutal death for the team. Yeah, so like that POW when they had given up the reroll slightly unnecessarily felt really, really bad. And then the fact that they then got a nice helping hand on both their touchdowns after that just reinforced it, unfortunately. You know, our touchdown was some pretty nice dice, to be fair. After I'd made a ridiculous mistake, misclicking. It's just the dead into dead. You know, the loss is one thing, and you're like, well, all right, we take another loss, but the team is so much weaker without that player. And we have to start again with another new blitzer, which has been the whole season, just trying to replace blitzers and keep them alive. Okay, at least the MVP was not on a loner. Yeah, 68% dodging. I thought the dodging was bad. It was really bad. Oh well, it happened. That was game number 14 of the Pro Run. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.